Yo, welcome to the Casual Flex. I am your host, Philip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Dukes D Scoop. And make sure you look right there and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Today's episode is being brought to you by Triple OG Brand. That's a OOOG Brand on Instagram and Twitter. And make sure you go to the website at tripleogbrand.com. Shout out to Street Lotto. Today, have a very, very special guest, one of the most influential members of the music community, music industry, and one of the most popular podcast hosts in the world, and Mr. DJ Scream. What's going on, Scream?
Yo, what it do though? What up though?
Hey, my boy's from Detroit today, for sure. Now, Scream, what's going on, man? Let me get your thoughts on the Super Bowl, bro. What you think?
Great Super Bowl. I don't think that anybody, from the Eagles should lower their head. They had an amazing season. Jalen Hurts proved time and time again from game to game in the season. Basically what kind of quarterback he's going to be and what type of legacy he's out to kind of set up. Like Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, several members of the defense, and it's a good solid team. I think that when I was like placing my friendly wagers and all that stuff, I've learned over the years to kind of go and kind of wager with experience and wisdom and that type of stuff. So it's one thing to look at Pat Mahomes and Kelsey and the wide receiving core and the defensive players and everything like that. It's one thing to look at them, but I think you really got to give a lot of credit to Eric Bieniemy. You got to give credit to Andy Reid for going in that locker room halftime, making those adjustments and coming back out during the second half and not playing a flawless game, but playing a game that was good enough to come back from a deficit and win the Super Bowl. You got to take your hats off to him. So, great game, man. You know what I'm saying? A great football season. This is a little right field. I don't know. My heart still warms, and I'm still just happy to see DeMar Hamlin just doing great, just kicking you. You know what I'm saying? That's a win for me personally. You know what I'm saying? Because I almost was in the space of not wanting to watch no football, for a while.
Too. Yeah,
what I'm saying? So that's another win, and great game, man. You got to take my hats off to Pat Mahomes. He's a dog. He played through that pain. I don't think a lot of people know how painful a high ankle sprain can be. True $450 million contract having player. He went out there and said, man, we'll deal with this ankle sprain later. I ain't got time for this right now, right? So hats off to that whole team, man. There's some great young talent on that team, great young talent on the Eagles, and don't be surprised if the boys meet up again.
So I know you're an avid fantasy football player. So let's give us a little inside ball here. Look, like, who was DJ Scream scouting last night potentially for next year's fantasy football draft? Like, is there anybody that stood out to you besides a Pat Mahomes or besides a Jalen Hurts that you kind of might have been like, you know what, I need to keep an eye on him for next year?
I hate that. One person that I had in two leagues that it just didn't work out when he was with the Giants was Kadarius Toney. I thought that this would be his breakout year. I think he showed all of the attributes of having a breakout year. I have like me and you. Well, we didn't win a championship, but we did. We got a team together. Rachaad White, right? Like,
yeah, right.
It's like I have to. So like me drafting next year is like, do I get Kadarius Toney and Rachaad White? Do I get all these people again? You know what I'm saying? Because some of them will boom, some of them will bust. But just keeping it focused on last night, Kadarius Toney, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
And if the price isn't too high, I like Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I think they got to start getting Devontae Smith a lot more value. That's one critique I would make last night. Like, if somebody's always open, you got to keep throwing the ball to them. You know what I'm saying? I like to see him on some shorter routes, some slant routes, some just short routes, just getting that volume and becoming, maybe rotate him into the slot for a few plays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Devontae Smith showed it last night, man. He showed it. Like the volume that he did get, he showed it. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, I think I really, really like how Pacheco runs, right? He's tough. He got popped. I think Gardner Johnson came down and gave him a lick, spin him around. He gets up, he shows how it felt. He winks, you see it, the pain on his face, and he's right back to running hard. He's one of those guys that has one of those young motors, I like to call. Those, I always talk about as far as when you want a running back, a lot of times you want somebody under 25 because they don't know no better. Like, they're not thinking about, hey, I need to get down. They're not thinking about, let me get out of bounds. They're thinking about ball run. Gotta go. Touchdown. That's it. Trying to get to that second contract. So he's somebody who I think is like really young, really hungry, runs hard, and then that offense, he's what you need. Like, and he can do it either way. Like he could be patient. You see him when he waits around, he hits the hole. Like he could be one cut and gone. And he's also, like I said, one of those one cut type guys where it's like I'm gonna put my foot in the ground and get north and south. Not we ain't doing a whole lot of dancing. So, and with that type of speed, you could just see how he adds a different dynamic to the Chiefs and what's already a prolific offense. And an offense where we saw Pat Mahomes lose a weapon like Tyreek Hill, an all-pro caliber receiver. And I won't say they didn't miss a beat, but, I mean, you look at the results. They're right back to the Super Bowl.
Again, when you're an offensive coordinator, that's what your job is, to coordinate. So our coordination is, the deep ball. I don't know if Pat Mahomes threw a deep ball. I didn't see it. I mean, Scantling, he took some shots with Scantling. You know what I'm saying? But you think about this, like, their core wide receivers, maybe none of them is just super top tier, right?
Right.
You got Juju, who we know can run a good route and catch a ball. You got Valdez
guy.
Yep. Right. They came from Pittsburgh. You got Valdez Scantling that came from the Packers.
Right.
Fly routes.
Threat. Yeah.
Yeah, even if nothing else, when the deep threat is there, it just opens up other stuff. So you can't always just look at the stats, right?
Right.
All right. You got just to get to the rookie, Sky Moore, who he hasn't. We don't even know what Sky Moore is yet, right? You know what I'm saying? They caught Kadarius Toney from the Giants, which me and you was talking about him earlier this year. Like, regardless of whatever people say about him, like, you can't take anything away from his speed. That was a very gutsy move to have him. Like, that was almost Deshaun Jackson-ish. Like, you know what? I'm going for it.
Right.
Because it could have went the other way. He could have fumbled. You know what? This is my time.
It's what punt return. Was it kickoff return or punt return?
Punt return.
Punt return, yeah.
Punt return in Super Bowl history from Kadarius Toney. Go figure that.
Wow. Straight out of Mobile.
Yeah.
So,
what I'm getting at is they got a lot of young talent on their team that still is going to further develop. When you go play for the Chiefs, you buy into Andy Reid, you buy into the system. Of course, they're always bought in on Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? And they love him. They were trying to kind of downplay the "are they the next dynasty" thing, and I think they're doing right. Let's downplay it. Let's not we can't let that get in our head and think we the ish or whatever. Let's go celebrate our Super Bowl, have a little fun, kick it with our families, and get back and start the process over again. So don't be surprised, man. Don't be surprised if them boys is back in the big dance next year. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. You know what I'm saying? Got to watch out for Joe Burrow and people like that. But
man,
got to take your hats off to the Chiefs because they did it.
Let me ask you right now: who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL for 2023 season?
Gotta always respect the champion. So Pat Mahomes.
All right, Mahomes.
Gotta respect the person that was almost the champion. Love him or hate him, or some people have like their criticism. So I think Jalen Hurts he showed us a lot last night. Like I said about who he is and who he wants to be.
We got to go Jalen Hurts. So top 5 right now, we got Mahomes 1, and the rest of it will go no order. Okay, Mahomes 1, Jalen Hurts,
Joe Burrow,
Joe Cool. Okay, Joe Cool. All right,
Joe Burrow. I mean, he almost got there. And I
Right.
hate to make it so cliche and it just be kind of the quarterbacks that kind of all made it to the conference championships. But Josh Allen, man, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta go Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
Gotta
Oh, you
go,
got
Josh.
one more slot. So you
So
got
this is
hold
where
on. Let's see. All right. We're in crunch time. Let me set it up for you. We got Pat Mahomes. We got Jalen Hurts. We got Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we got
So that
three
means you
AFC,
got so
three
you
from
got
the AFC, and one from the NFC.
so you got for one slot, you got Justin Herbert, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Lamar Jackson. You can't really say Russell after that season. I mean, some people like to say guys like maybe a Kyler Murray, maybe not, maybe a Dak Prescott, maybe not. Who you got, Scream?
Brock Purdy. All right.
Brock Purdy up.
Purdy, man. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I want that to be the answer. We all just want that to be the answer.
yeah, Brock Purdy the one too.
Brock Purdy's the one while y'all playing around.
Nah, for real.
Oh, you know what?
It's tough.
No one will. Yeah, I can't do that because I can't do it because I'm not allowed.
Wow.
But if you had a really bad season, Russ had a very bad season. But if you had a not so great season, I don't know, man. I can't put Aaron Rodgers there, but it's still kind of hard to. I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, man.
I mean, A-Rod.
A-Rod
looked like
given the circumstances. I mean, I don't like. Can he return the MVP form? Well, I think that depends on how much he wants to return the MVP form. I think this is one of those work-life balance type players now at this point where he may or may not. Is it fair to put him there at number 5? Based off of what happened this season, it's not fair to put him there at number 5. The number 5 slot is really hard. I'm a Justin Herbert fan, but something's just not connecting with the Chargers. They should be a better football team, in my opinion. I haven't seen enough from Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying he's solid. I haven't seen enough from Trevor Lawrence to make me jump up and say it should be Trevor Lawrence. Deshaun Watson, we got to see him get back to form. I think that he will. That's a hard 5th slot, man. And now I'm really interested to know if your list is the same or who you would put in that 5th slot. But that's a hard 5th slot. The top 4 is no-brainers because they're considered your, I guess, like high A-listers, right? But now you're kind of starting to go into the B category. And is there really a big difference between all the quarterbacks you just named?
I mean, me personally, I'm going Lamar, but hey.
I like Lamar.
Just me. I mean,
I like Lamar. I wouldn't be mad at putting Lamar there because I think Lamar deserves his contract. I think he deserves to get guaranteed money because of the style of football that he plays. And I think that he's an innovator.
Right now, Scraven, you can't dance around the question, dog. Who is your 5th quarterback?
It's not. They are. It's just the B list. But Lamar, I like Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is B list.
It is after you get past the top 4.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's not. The B list is not bad.
The B list, no. So Aaron Rodgers is B list.
He has downgraded to the B list currently, not of all time, not like overall. He's elite, but he's downgraded to the B list.
Okay, now we ain't gonna do Lamar like that, man, because this is what I think about Lamar Jackson. What separates him from the rest of those quarterbacks you name? He doesn't have the complement of pass catching options that any one of those other in the top 4 have. Not even in the top 7. Like, I don't think anybody has that complement of receivers, or I don't think anybody has
He
a
doesn't have the
comparable.
weapon. He doesn't have the weapon. He doesn't have Jamari Chase. He never had Tyreek Hill. You're right. He doesn't have Stephon Diggs. Uh, you know, he doesn't have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. And not only doesn't he have them, he doesn't have them by far. So
Right.
let me just say, and I'm just gonna keep it real, and I'm sure he's on the phone with Yak talking about it.
Yeah.
He need to get gone from the Ravens if he can. Because y'all don't want to invest in him personally and guarantee him in his future, and you don't want to invest around him. It's different if you still had that Baltimore Ravens, shut down defense that you once had,
Right.
and all I got to do is put up 17 points and then we're good.
Right.
But I don't have that shutdown defense. I got 30 running backs, right?
Right.
A pretty good tight end, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who's basically your wide receiver number one,
Right.
and a lot of questionable receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And okay, let me ask you this: should the Falcons go after Lamar Jackson?
I absolutely go after Lamar Jackson because the reality is, and I don't know why owners and teams overthink this, that without a quarterback, then I don't care how pretty your stadium is. I don't care how many draft picks you got. I don't care how much money you got. Without a captain to right the ship, and it's just I just think it's like going back for them. Like there's no disrespect to Desmond Ritter and whoever else or whatever the case is, but it comes a time where regardless of how Russell Wilson performed with the Broncos, they got a quarterback. And they know they can put him in the right system and the right coaching and the right offensive coordinator. We know where Russell Wilson, he's like, I think it's like being really extreme. Saying, Russell Wilson just fell off. He's just over with. Nah. He had a bad season.
No, I know what happened to Russell Wilson.
Right.
You
that
know
can
what?
happen again. That can happen again.
It can't happen no more. Like, if it happens again, now he's already hurt it. Like, now I think he has the tough skin now. I mean, and what I'm talking about is what I talked about on the Casual Flex earlier this year is Boston Richie featuring Future. Future jumps on the track at the beginning of the season, of the NFL season. Future jumps on the track and says, and then in the video he did it like this. He was like, and I'm still smashing on C. Like, whoa, brother. Whether he did it or not, right? Russell Wilson, there was a 1,000% chance that Russell Wilson asked Sierra about that. I'm 1,000% sure. 1,000. And from that point, you could just tell, man, I said it all year long. I said, man, Russ ain't right, dog. He ain't right. I mean, he had receivers. I mean, he had 2 good running backs at the beginning of the year, even though Melvin Gordon had some fumbling issues this year. But, I mean, yeah, I really felt like that got into his head the same way that we talk about music in the youth, right? With you being a DJ, how do you feel like music? Do you feel like rap culture is impacting athletes negatively? Like you hear a lot of stuff about Ja Morant and, athletes that want to be gangbang. And I'm not saying he wants to be a gangbanger. What I'm saying is people say that athletes are taking the culture too far. They basically sound like drill gangster rappers, like even when they're conducting their business. Do you feel like music has overstepped its boundaries in affecting athletes?
I don't think music overstepped any boundaries. I think that the influence of so as a person who's been around athletes, there's no more visibility in the world, nothing more influential than rap or hip hop culture. There's just not in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So an athlete can be worth, look how much promotion they have to put into an NFL athlete to brand that person as a household name. You're talking commercials, insurance commercials, and after press conferences and this, that, and the third, and still probably my wife and your wife could not identify. Just it's not disrespect because I'm a big fan, right? Like your wife and my wife probably couldn't identify Josh Allen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, of course, Pat Mahomes at this point.
Yeah. Household. So this,
You know what I'm saying?
Joe Montana.
But even my wife was like, Joe Burrow, who's that?
Right. They'll probably find Jackson Mahomes before they find Patrick Mahomes.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
but what I'm saying is like all it takes is like a hit record, and everybody knows this art rapper. And this, what I'm saying is, it's way cheaper to brand and make that rapper a star, and simpler than to make that athlete a star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's just something where me going into the club with artists and athletes and seeing that all the artists got all the attention and the athletes didn't.
Right.
This has been said even on Big Facts. We've spoken to athletes. I was like, oh yeah, nah, we want to be popping. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to be popping. So it's not that they're not popping. They're very much so popping, financially popping and everything. Right. But they want their flowers when they walk in the club. You know what I'm saying?
Could we exchange the word flowers for clout?
We can say clout. I think I see where you're going with it. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, you want to go where everybody knows your name. Oh, right. Shit, right.
When they go to the gym. Go to the gym.
Hey, man. They want to be able to say, I went to the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I went to the hood, man. I was in the hood. You know, I was on the net. You know what I'm saying? I went to get me some food on the net. Like,
man. I'll tell you something. Like, man, you know, one athlete I always say that I blew my mind, and that was AI. Like, Iverson used to be an old national, like he lived there, bro. I used to be like, it wasn't even nothing to see AI on the net. Like, it was nothing to see.
It reminded them of home.
Yeah. God bless Truth, man. Yeah. Him and Truth was thick as thieves, so you know, it was like, man, you see AI at any time on the net, which used to trip me out. But he was one of the guys who didn't need the notoriety. You could just tell, like, that was really him. He wasn't out acting bad. He wasn't out there making threats to nobody. Like, man, hey, I was out there kicking it. I want to gamble. Like, you know, I want to kick it. And that's what he did. I was just talking to Wayne the other day about AI being out there. You know, you pull up the throwbacks anytime during the week, you might see that Maybach out there. And it won't even be AI, it'd be Troop driving it. Like, what? Like, oh yeah, Troop got the back. Oh, yeah, okay. But you just knew, like, he was one of those type guys. But when we talk about athletes and rapping athletes, AB probably dropped the hardest athlete rap song in the past while with Put It On. Put that shit on. But, so, do you think that AB has a real shot of becoming a mainstream rapper? Can AB do it?
I think the days of any athlete having a real shot of becoming a mainstream rapper is probably. So that's not a knock at AB, because he definitely has the swag, the cadence. He's a hard worker.
Right.
But I don't think that. I don't think the days of any athlete becoming a rapper, the days of the Shaquille O'Neal thing happening again, like, I
don't know, man. Like, AB was right there. Like, if
AB was not right there.
AB was right there. Like, they was doing a dance in the end zone.
Yeah, they was doing a dance, and it was, again, it's social media again. It wasn't real. Like,
man, listen.
Not social right there. You're saying like you're alluding to AD having a buzz like a babyface Ray, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
who went viral? People go viral for Old Town Road was a viral song.
Yeah, no, the song also sold a lot of records.
Did it go viral first?
Yeah, it went viral, but that viral led to people consuming it, and it became a phenom that actually sold a lot of records.
So you
AB ain't
saying that
selling records.
you don't think that
AB ain't selling no records, bro.
I mean, who sells records these days? Little baby though.
Everybody who goes gold and platinum and double platinum and triple platinum and diamond off of streaming is
What
selling
about
records.
singles though?
Yeah, singles too. That's what I'm saying. He ain't
TikTok
selling none of
singles.
them. He ain't say none of them either.
Okay. All right. So
I'm
AB,
just,
I'm gonna
I'm
tell
just
you.
saying, like you got to know the difference between like, let's take AB and Ice Spice. Okay,
Right.
Ice Spice sold units. She got a plaque on the way. You see what I'm saying? So the AB thing was fun. It was fun. It's cool. But he was there with Ye. You think Ye gonna let somebody who's truly musically there that can actually do it not do it?
Yeah. Man, yeah,
No.
just went off on Big Sean. It ain't a lot of people in the world who can go out like that could
No.
make
What I'm
themselves
saying
distance
is,
themselves from Big Sean. Like
okay, so
they
the
don't
question
care.
is, do I think that AB has a real chance of becoming a mainstream rapper?
Right.
And let me stand on my answer. I don't think that any professional athlete has a chance to become a mainstream rapper. Just like I don't think that any rapper has a chance to be a professional athlete.
Any
They're so
rapper can
close, but
be.
they are so far away. Is what
Okay,
I'm getting
okay. So you saying it's almost like AB to becoming like a mainstream rapper is like J. Cole to become going to the NBA.
right.
You could play her like, and J. Cole really can hoop.
Cool, for
Right,
sure.
right. You know, we see him at the at the pro am games or
And
whatever. But
and and put I listened to put this shit on last year more than I listened to quote unquote rappers who are real rappers.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Because it
what I'm
was a good
saying.
song. It was a good song.
It's a good song. Right. But that was the closest thing I think because Dame Lillard can really rap.
Lily can rap. We can go on. Steve Jackson, my partner, did his mixtapes. Uh, like
It's hard to do. Why do you think it's
LeBron and
so?
Katie wanted to rap for real.
So let me ask you this: why do
Rap.
you think it's so hard for an athlete to cross over into music and be taken seriously?
You really want we want to go there, or you want to say that for another episode? You want
I,
to go there?
I definitely want to go there.
Okay. So this is why you have the athletes uh, being tough and being, being whatever they are. Because so first you got rappers having to really feel like they have to do what they rap about and kind of just show like it's not even about keeping it real no more. It's like standing on business is the new term for keeping it real, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, cool. So now people don't take athletes serious. They want to be taken serious in that respect. They take them serious as athletes, but
Right.
they don't be like, well, you a basketball nigga,
Right.
you a
Right.
football nigga. You ain't man. Well, you ain't boy.
And don't even be knowing like it be some of the
A
most
lot of them come from that and be
right.
like that for
Right.
real.
Right.
But it ain't to glorify none of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got away from that, get away from it. It ain't glorifying that ain't smart. Like that's not cool.
Right.
But I'm just saying that there's several different elements of it. It's like a football player is worth 100 million. A
Deal.
rapper's worth 10 million.
Right.
Who does the women flock to?
The rappers.
The 10 millionaire. Maybe 2 millionaire.
Maybe two.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they want that. If you're in the attention space, like you say, the clout space, you want that. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand like I'm rich for real. My money's guaranteed and I'm this and that and that and that. Yeah, but he got on some clothes and he got some lean, he got some guns, he
He
got
on the
some
shade room.
you know what I'm saying? He goes like
Right.
that's just how it is. So they want that. But I think that the smartest of athletes, um, I think that a lot of our music, as far as their workouts and everything, probably a very humbling moment is when I finally met Cam Newton and he said, "Man, I used to work out to your mixtapes." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Did.
Cool. Um, but you know, the music and the culture is aggressive and it can inspire the workouts and make you have that like really competitive spirit. But why in the world, if you're an athlete, would you want to really be the rapper? And if you're a successful rapper, where would you want to be an athlete?
If I'm a successful rapper, I would want to be an athlete so I can get into a different space, right? Like the pigeonholing works on both sides. Like you can get pigeonholed as a rapper, and it's very few rappers that are successful that make it onto the other side. You get a few of them, right? I think, but you know what's bridging the gap right now? The podcast game is really bridging the gap for
No,
both, right?
podcast is different because that's media. So
Yeah,
it's like, you know, media on all ends is like if you get tired of rapping, if you get tired of playing a sport, then if you have enough knowledge of something, you can go do media, which is respectable. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But
right.
then again, in media, you know why it's working for people? Because I do media. What if I was the tough media guy? You know what I'm saying? They said they don't stand on business and I don't talk crazy. What's a tough media person?
Yeah.
You
I
know what I'm saying?
mean,
Like
yeah, you're right,
I'm just saying it's not. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. But
right,
what I'm saying is that what people don't understand is people, what I guess what brands don't understand is what people want from it. So
mm,
people are watching this because they love your conversation and the culture conversation you have with people, right?
right,
All right. Rappers don't always get that. For the most part, there might be a minority of people that want their rappers to be like real street dudes and all that other stuff. But for the most part, like if you start talking to kids and women who don't care about all that, they just want good music.
right. Yeah.
That's all
No,
they
you're right.
want. You know what I'm
No, you're
saying?
right.
And if you're an athlete, they just want you to score and win and maybe do good for the community too. You know what I'm saying? Or that type of stuff. But they don't really want you to be tough. Like, oh man, I'm finna go buy his jersey because he tough.
Then you
You
know
know
what's
what I'm saying?
crazy? The thing is that I almost feel like social media kind of ruined it because now you get to see so much of athletes that the mystique goes away. Like
Sure.
I don't think if Jordan was on social media through his whole run in his 20s when he was learning what worked for him and what didn't, he would be Jordan because the only time we saw Jordan outside of him on the court dunking on folks or going for 30 was come fly with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was already scripted in our head. So who Jordan was, who he was going to be, and he backed it up on the court. So we didn't get to see Jordan at the casino, smoking a cigar, hitting the Grey Goose when we was kids. You get what I'm saying? So,
And
I get it.
they go both ways, man. Like you didn't just know everything about. You knew as much as you could about like Tupac and Biggie's life, just because they were all over media.
Right.
But you didn't know everything. You know what is kind of damaging too? Like if everybody knows everything through social media, like it damages the opportunity for great documentaries 10 to 15, 20 years from now. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It ain't no tell all because we done seen all.
We're seeing it all. You know what I'm
Nah, you
saying?
right. So
You know,
when it comes down to like culture and sports, the Trae Young Luka Doncic debate was always about who did the Hawks make a mistake by trading the rights to Luka Doncic for Trae Young. Always was more of the school of thought that Trae Young was a better cultural fit for a city like Atlanta. So hindsight being 2020, they've both been to a conference championship. Luka probably is going to fill the stat sheet more based upon his size. He's going to have more rebounds, but as far as Trae Young had more points and assists than anybody in the league last year. Hindsight being 2020, looking at two teams that are both hovering around 500, 3 or 4 years later, who do you think won the Luka Doncic Trae Young trade?
um, honestly,
And if it's not a winner, it's not a winner.
yeah, as I said, I think that they're both winners. They both have, arguably, it's early in their careers, but probably two Hall of Famers, right?
Right.
Um, the Hawks' success doesn't solely depend on Trae Young. The Dallas Mavericks' success doesn't solely depend on Luka. That's why they're just winning at Kyrie. I think that, in my humble opinion, both teams have failed to build championship teams. I think they've put together pretty good teams. You know what I'm saying? But the dynamics of a championship team, I started studying basketball championship teams. That would be capping to say I was studying back then. But looking back, I looked at the dynamics of the Lakers in the late 80s, the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? Moving on to the dynasty of the Chicago Bulls, back to the dynasty of the Lakers. It's kind of funny how these names continue to pop up. And then if you look at the dynasty of the Bulls and the coach they bred is Steve Kerr and the dynasty he built with the Golden State Warriors, you know what I'm saying? So there's a chemistry to championship teams. Again, the key word is teams. Like, I love the fact I'm a huge Warriors supporter. I love and I support the Hawks when I can, but if they're not around, I can't. But I'm a huge Warriors supporter and fan as well. And I think it said a lot last year when Steph Curry, the flagship basketball player, had an injury. And because they built a team with depth, Jordan Poole was able to damn near slide in and pick up where Curry left off. And that's the reason they were able to win that championship. Giving Steph Curry time to get healthy. You know what I'm saying? Giving Klay Thompson time to get healthy because you got other options. I don't know if anybody scouts basketball players better than the Golden State Warriors. They just always have a next person. Who Kuminga, where'd he come from? They got Gary Payton. Where these people come from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's the debate I had the other day. Not to knock anybody, but I was like, can you imagine if, I'll say LeBron and company, didn't get rid of all those young boys too fast? Can you imagine?
They need Ingram so bad right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would love to have Ingram. And I know you don't get
amongst
AD.
other players, amongst Jordan Clarksons, amongst other players, they just ain't like.
Right.
Can you imagine if they would have gave it 2 more years of jail? And maybe they were scared financially of what would have came about contract time. But I mean, at the end of the day, people want to play basketball with LeBron and win championships. So I think they could have worked it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Like, that young team, like the Lakers blew up to get those to make the super team, supposed super team. But I feel like they would have just as many wins right now if they would have kept Lonzo Ball, D'Lo, who they just Lonzo Ball, D'Lo, Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson. Julius Randle. Like, they forgot they had Randle too. Yeah, they gave up a lot.
Man.
Nah, you're right.
The dynamics of a championship team is just that, championship team. Right. Take it back to the Hawks. My frustration with the Hawks is we had Coach Bud and we had the potential for a championship team. Did we have enough firepower? Clearly we didn't. But that was a damn good team and a well-coached team, right?
Right.
Got to break it up. Cool, I'm all right with breaking it up. All right. So breaking it up leads us back to Trae Young and company. And they had an amazing season 2 years ago. Overperformed, to say the least. I don't think that the Hawks have a championship team.
Nah.
And I love the Hawks. I just watched them tonight.
Right now they don't.
They don't have a championship team.
Nah. I mean.
And I don't think that they're making the steps or really progressing expeditiously enough towards that championship team because they won't address certain things like their big man and their depth.
So they went and got some depth today, right? I mean, the other day they went and got Saddiq Bey from the Pistons, and the Hawks don't like to play their rookies. Now, and that's something that my pop, when I do talk to him, we have barbershop talk. He very adamant about the Hawks not playing their rookies, man. So now you're right, because I think, me personally, I think Saddiq Bey does the same thing that AJ Griffin can do. If you give him enough burn and give him consistent minutes, they do the same thing. You add another 3 when we already got a log jam. You bring back Bruno Fernando, but man, we don't have any. When it gets scary in the playoffs in the East, when it gets scary is when you got Bam Adebayo leaning on you, when you got Joel Embiid leaning on you, when you got Giannis
Giannis.
and
You
Brooke
said that.
Lopez lean or Robin, whichever one of them Lopez twins it is. When you got them two leaning on you, you got like Giannis would be the center on the Hawks, which is crazy.
You gotta go get. They gotta go get a couple dogs. Like
If I'm the Hawks, man, the first thing I would have went and got. I do whatever I can to go get Karl Anthony Towns out of Minnesota
you
or
know
Rudy
that
Gobert or something like. You got to go get
that's what I'm
somebody
saying. It
with some
wasn't
size.
about. Yeah, it wasn't about going and actually getting Kevin Durant. Sounds good on paper, right?
Right.
But who wants to? We don't want to give up 5 years of picks and all our money for Kevin Durant, and he's well worth it. The Suns are going to win a championship because they are close to having a championship team.
Yeah,
So
right.
that investment makes sense for them. The
Right.
investment doesn't make sense for the Atlanta Hawks. And my fear, my frustration, because we've seen this movie before.
Right.
That in a year or two they say, let's break it up.
Yeah, I mean, they only got one more year. DJ Murray is over with. Like he'll be a free agent after a year unless they re-sign him, and I don't think they can financially at this point. They would have to figure out what it is. But all right, we're gonna do this. Look, we're gonna play a little casual flex game right here. So we've been blending sports and culture all show long. We're gonna keep it going right here. I'm gonna name a rapper, and I want you to tell me if they were an athlete, what sport they would play, what position, and why.
Okay.
Kodak Black.
Point Miami Heat because he's balling.
Man, if I'm Kodak, but if I had to put Kodak Black as an athlete, I'm probably gonna put him as a football player, and I'm gonna put him in the nickel because he's a gremlin. I'm thinking more so like the honey badger, like mix it up with the bigger guys. He'll hit some, run with you. He gonna get down low, take a pick to the house, hit that Kodak bop. I can see all of that. So, all right, let's go here. Lil Baby.
Ooh, little baby. Quarterback, Atlanta Falcons.
Lil Baby would play football and be the quarterback of the Falcons. I like that one because he's basically the quarterback of Atlanta right now, right?
Quarterback Falcons.
All right, let's go. hey, Future.
I had to put Future. Future want to play football. Be a DN just so he can rush some or linebacker or a DN just so he can. That's the type of nigga he is, man. I just being honest.
All right. So we got Future. The Baby.
The baby from the Carolinas. Oh. The baby struck me as like a running back nigga for like the Carolina Panthers or something. Just because he got that aggressive flow and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I can see the baby playing tailback.
Feel like a little baby Derrick Henry or some shit. Just trying to run niggas over and some shit like that. But something definitely aggressive like that.
Yeah. I can see the baby playing like a strong safety, like coming out hitting some. Like I don't care nothing about the coverage. I don't care nothing about what we supposed to be running. They like the baby. What are you doing? Coach, I had to hit him. Coach, I had to hit him.
Something aggressive. Right. Yeah, something aggressive for sure. Yeah.
I think the last one we'll go with. Who on the charts right now? Who popping right now? Who's a good rapper? Let's go with what did I listen to this morning? I would say I ain't gonna say that. Hey man, rappers is crazy right now. I was gonna say Thug, but I'm thinking about who I listen to. I don't. Thug would have played quarterback for sure. Last one, Moneybag Yo.
Money bag, yo. Center for the Memphis Grizzlies, like a hoop with John Morant.
Man, bro, that'd be like having Zach Randolph back, wouldn't it? Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, man, Moneybag look like he could probably hoop too, bro. Like, I can see him out
I think every Memphis nigga look like they can hoop.
Hey, all right, last one. Okay, last one. Dirk.
Dirk. Dirk gonna play point for the Bulls.
Derrick
See, Dirk can
Rose.
hoop for real though, right?
Yeah, Dirk can hoop. I seen Dirk hoop. Yeah, Dirk. I like that. I can see Dirk running the
Yeah,
point for the Bulls. You know, putting up shots or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I can see like a little D Rose type deal. Nah, man. Well, look, man. Scream. It's been a pleasure. Scream. The Big Facts podcast. Where can they find you, Scream?
Oh, at DJ Scream, all social media, Twitter, Instagram, all that. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be back to popping some more, man. Congrats to them boys again for a great Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of influenced this conversation. And I look forward to an aggressive free agency. It's going to be an aggressive free agency. I think they say it every year. This is going to be the craziest free agency, but I think it's going to get shaken up this year. Because there's a lot of people motivated. There's a lot of people that want to go try to get the ring. You know what I'm saying? They want to win now. So
yeah, guaranteed money too. Like now, guaranteed money on the table. Like when all them guaranteed contracts came out last year, that's gonna make a lot of difference with folks getting their money guaranteed in the NFL.
And I think it's time for that. I think that thank goodness for I guess the NFLPA protects players and stuff like that. But you gotta guarantee like. There's no way you should be playing this multi-$100 billion, whatever the numbers is, sport. And as we saw, not to keep bringing up, but DeMar Hamlin, I mean, football is not that you can say putting your life on the line, but it's a full contact sport.
It's definitely putting your life on the line.
So it's in your well-being. So it's a full contact sport. So if you're going to ask somebody to go out there and put it all on the line, their family should at least be straight if something happened to you.
For sure. Nah, you're right. You're right about that. All right, man. We appreciate it, man. P. Dukes from the Casual Flex. I'm out.
All right, salute.